basically, Incoterm means widely used term of sales. There are set of 11 internationally recognized rules which define the responsibility of either the sellers or the buyers. The sellers and the buyers, they have certain level of responsibility based on the Incoterm use. Later I'm going to explain to you who is responsible for what and who is not responsible for what. So now basically, Incoterms specify who is responsible for paying for and managing the shipment, the insurance, the documentation, the custom clearance, and other logistical activities. All right. So basically, from this photo, this is a very good photo. You can see from this simple illustration, you can see all of the coverage are there. Number one, you can see on the right hand side, you can see the rail. The rail shipment. All this need to use Incoterm as well. Yes. All the delivery order will mention this, all the invoice will mention this. Next is you can see the cargo ship. The cargo ship full of cargoes. Then you can see an airplane. Beside it, you can see a highway, you can see a trailer, a lorry, a big trailer, 18-wheeler that carry the container. And also you can see some cars, because cars also, some of the cars are being used to transport items. For example, now the very frequent are the very common are the Lala Move. You can see Lala Move are everywhere now. Lala Move is the one that is doing all the delivery. Then of course you can see a smaller boat there. The smaller boat these are what we call the transshipment to bring the cargo into a smaller river and smaller area. For example, they call it shallow waters, where the big ship cannot go in. So all these are called feeder boats. They will feed the big ship with the container. They load it onto, because some ports, some big ship they cannot go in, or some ship can only move up to a certain level of the depth of the sea. Some of the ports are, especially at the rural area where the ports are smaller, and the riverways has a narrow water. So you need this kind of feeder ship to fit into it, to fit to the item. So then after that, you can see this is the port area. This is a very common port area. Normally, port area are the ones that are the third-party warehouse and the custom clearance are all at this place. So you can see the bulk cargo. You can see all these silo, very big silo for them to keep all those bulk cargo items. For example, oil and gas, items. And then you can see all the pipes to supply all the oil and gas. And also you can see all the container down there. All these containers are left there for custom clearance. Normally once they arrive, they use this overhead container crane to bring all the container and leave it there. They don't leave it there for purpose. They don't leave it there for no purpose. They leave it there because every item, every cargo comes in. The job of the port authority is to inspect and to approve and to allow this cargo to go into the country, go into the market. So before that, that's why the port clearance is very important. I want to share one real story with you all regarding this port clearance matter. It's a very interesting story, and it happens to us, to me, to our company, way back in the year 2017. As you all know, I'm from Agza Afin. Agza Afin, those days, we used to print calendar diaries for all our agent and our customer. Diaries. So normally, what we do is we order those diaries way back in July or August. From where? From China, because China has a very good quality and also the pricing is very good. So we order from them. Very nice leather bound diary with with the agents, some with the agent's name and all this. All this very nicely done, and it's all great. So we order a few 100,000 of them because we got so many agents. So we order a big bulk, and everything was in order. Everything was fine. Okay, fine. Everybody happy. Then the manufacturer, the supplier, they go and get their thing, they do it, everything nicely, pack it, everything nicely. Then they ship to Malaysia. Okay. After they done everything, it was somewhere in late September, early October. So they send. Okay. Because they want to save costs, they send in batches and they use LCL, less container load. Okay, less container load. What does less container LCL means? LCL means that you are sharing your container with somebody else. Okay, so what happened? They ship the thing together with other people item inside the container. Then they ship in batches. Okay, first batch, second batch, third batch. When the shipment finally arrived, it was somewhere in mid-November already. Mid-November. Okay. So what happened? We need to, sorry, mid-October, mid-October, okay? So what they do is normally they will put down there, then custom clearance, then the thing will be given to us. Then, I mean, we will arrange our freight forwarder to collect it and then to send to our HQ, and then our HQ will disperse to everybody. So by November, everybody should have by mid-November, everybody should have the diary, and you can start giving out during the year end for the festivities, year-end festivities. Those days, we used to do that. So that was the plan. It was perfect. Okay. So what happened when they arrived at the port? It was in mid-October, and guess what? Because they are sharing container with somebody else, that container was held back due to suspicious activity of the other party, of other people inside the container. So the custom block it and hold it for how long? Up to January. Yes, up to January. So by then, after they clear everything, they check, nothing happened, everything clear, okay, good. They finally release, it's already in January. So by the time it was delivered to us, February, and then by the time we delivered to our agent, it's in March. So when you give diary in March, so it backfire, right? So basically, so we learned that this kind of thing is beyond our control, and it's this kind of thing, you. So the moral of the story is that every time when you ship something from overseas coming to your country, make sure that if possible, don't go on less container load, because you can control your goods, you can control your item, but you cannot control other people. Other people can put simply other things inside there, and that thing can be suspicious and can be illegal and can be, they smuggle something, we don't know. So that's what happened. Okay, so and that is a real story, real case happened to us in when I was in my former ex-AGI. And lesson learned again, like I say, you pay more money for the full container load, at least you know that your container is safe, because that container load is only belonging to you and your item alone. Okay, right. So let's move on. So now there are 11 Incoterms. Like I say, this is a snapshot. You can see all these things. Don't worry, I'll explain one by one, and I'll give you example one by one so that you can understand better and you can understand more. All right. So first thing first is what we call X works. Okay, X works from here. Okay, you can see an arrow down here, down there. Okay, this arrow represents the buyer. The buyer, meaning the buyer responsibility. X work simply means the moment the item come out from the factory, the buyer has to be responsible already. Okay, so I'm going to give you an example. I'm going to give you an example. You go to IKEA today. IKEA, you buy a furniture. Okay, now you buy a furniture from IKEA. IKEA will sell to you, they will issue an invoice, and you have to carry that furniture onto your car, load it to your car, and then you have to drive home to your house. Okay, now what happened if halfway you got accident, or you don't have accident, but on the way home, when you arrive home, when you carry it down, you drop it and you damage it? What happened? Sorry, you are responsible because it's X work, EXW, meaning you are fully responsible as a buyer. The moment that thing leaves the warehouse or the factory, or for this case is IKEA, the moment it leaves there, sorry, you're on your own already. They don't care. Okay. All right. So this is an example of export. All right. So all these shipment from here is the first carrier alongside ship, loading port, all this. If you were to buy it from another country, oh, hello, yeah, yeah. You boleh call saya punya tangan Encik Khairil. Nanti saya forward number you kat dia. Nama you Encik Anis kan? Saya, tapi yang duduk rumah tu Encik Khairil. Encik Khairil. Sebab tu dia tengah tunggu ni. Nanti saya suruh dia call you boleh? Saya. Okay. Tak apa. Sebab sekarang I tengah meeting. You boleh call balik pukul 12 atau I call you balik pukul 12. Okay. Pukul 12. Saya meeting sampai pukul 12. Okay, sorry people, because the TNB call me and these people, you know lah, I have to answer. If I don't answer, they don't come and install the stupid electricity to my house. Okay, so basically, as a responsible person, if the invoice states that it is X work, EXW, there's no shipment involved, or you have to be fully responsible for the goods. Okay. So this is what X work. And X work are normally, this is very, very, very common. Every time you buy something, normally when they issue you, they don't involve any shipment at all. This all X work. Okay. Now the second one is called what we call free carrier. Free carrier meaning what? Meaning the first carrier, the seller will use their own lorry, or another person lorry or third party lorry. They will send it to where? To alongside ship. Okay, so they will put it at the custom bonded warehouse. Okay, so they just put to the port only. Okay, they load. Then the moment they ship, okay, you are responsible as a buyer. Okay, the buyer, that means you can see the arrow from here. The buyer is fully responsible from the first carrier to the port, okay, to the loading. That means once the carrier is moved, you are responsible already. Okay, so that is free carrier. But free carrier seldom happens because normally we don't see this. Okay, because either the seller will just send straight to the port. They do it FOB. Later I will explain to you. Or the buyer will say X work. They won't say that. Okay, you just do the first carrier. Very, 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 very seldom. Very, very, very seldom. The free carrier, normally the seller would use their own lorry. These are the situation, and they normally use their own lorry to send it up. Free alongside ship. Okay, so now free alongside ship is the one that the buyer is fully responsible from the port to loading, the destination port to unloading to inland transit. Okay, meaning the moment it's alongside ship, not yet load. It's alongside ship. That's a responsible of the seller, whereas you as a buyer, you're responsible. However, again, this FAS, free alongside ship, also very, very, very seldom. Because you know why? Because as explained to you, normally the seller would prefer to do it on FOB. They will just straight to the port and to load onto the ship. Okay, so free alongside ship, FAS, although it is allowed, but I hardly see this also. Okay, because like I say, if you were to be responsible, you'll be responsible to everything, or you're responsible at the ship onwards. You don't responsible. You just not say, okay, you're responsible for up to the put alongside the ship. then you don't responsible. But again, this kind of situation, normally the shipper, the seller will also either they engage a third party or they use their own lorry. This is very frequent. You're going to hear this a lot, and this is very, 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 very frequent. It's called free on board. Okay, free on board. The buyer is fully responsible from port loading to destination port, to unloading, to inland transit, to custom bonded well until the buyer well. Okay, so meaning what? Meaning your seller, and this I see all the time. I see this all the time. FOB. Meaning what? Meaning what? Meaning your seller, the moment you buy something from them, they just send to the ship only. Okay? They send to the ship only. Once it's on the ship, they are no longer responsible. So a lot of time I met a lot of customers those days when they told me that their shipment, their import, the seller were to counting for them. I said, what do you mean they counting for you? They say, yeah, my seller, they issue the own insurance and they counting for me. I said, what is the term? And they said, I don't know the term. They don't know. So I said, can you please find out? So they give me a sample of their deal, and it was mentioned down there. It's FOB. So I told them, do you know what FOB means? They said, don't know. I said, FOB means the shipper only responsible up to the ship. Then when the ship sailed to our port, and the port to the custom to your warehouse is not covered. Then only the client realized, oh really? You say, yeah. Then only they know that, oh, FOB is actually from the seller to the ship only. The voyage, the journey, the transit in between the port, their port and our port, this is the time when it's very risky. The most dangerous part is always on the sea between the seller's port and our port because of the rough sea. Okay, so, and not just rough sea, sometimes it's hijack, sometimes it's pirate. Okay, a lot of things will happen. So, and all these are not covered if it's FOB. Always remember, FOB. FOB, the seller is responsible up to the board, the ship only. Okay, so a lot of times, like I say, always remind your customer, if you were to import something, always study the shipping condition and the shipping shipping steps, Incoterms on the delivery. Because if a lot of time is only FOB only, a lot. I would say almost half or more than half, two-thirds of the time is always on free on board. All right. Okay, next. After free on board is cost and freight, C&F. Okay. CFR, sorry, cost and freight. So CFR meaning what? Meaning the freight charges, the cost, all the way the seller will be responsible up to the port of destination. So this one is better. CFR. Okay, this one is better. So at least the destination, I mean the journey between their port and our port, that risky journey is covered. Okay, I think this is good. This is important. Okay, CFR. But however, I hardly see this also. I hardly see this. Okay. Normally the seller will just put FOB only up to the port, because you know why? Because along the way it's all inland transit, GIT only, so they save the premium. Okay, GIT very safe on land only Okay, so not many seller would want to take up this cost and freight, because like I say, the dangerous journey is always between their port and our port. Okay, like I say, you are exposed to rough sea, exposed to high piracy, exposed to so many elements. Okay, tsunami, everything. Okay, so basically, these are the dangerous part, and not many sellers are willing to take this kind of risk. Okay, they do FOB because, like I say, FOB is within their control. It's all inland transit only. Okay, so now if you see CFR as a buyer, you should be happy because at least the dangerous journey, the part that is high risk, which is the port to port, that sea journey is covered. Okay. Okay, this is very common. CIF, cost, insurance, and freight. Okay, so this one quite common, but not as common as FOB. This one means the seller will be responsible up to the unloading, to the unloading part to the ship. Okay, just now the CFR is just up to the spot. The loading and unloading part not covered. But this one is covered. Okay, this one is very common, CIF, and this one is normally quite costly to the buyer because the seller, once they use this method, they will charge you more. A lot of times they charge, the premium is 2 to 3 times higher than in Malaysia. And the worst part is they are charging it is in their own currency. If their own currency is US dollar, then you do the multiplication on the exchange rate, you already lose money. Okay, so always remember, if it's CIF, it's much more expensive and is the responsibility of the seller is higher, is greater. Therefore, once they issue their policy down there, so you as a buyer, no doubt you have less worry, but when you have less worry, you pay more premium. Always remember that. So this is very common. Apart from the FOB, this is very common. Okay. Next is cost paid to. Okay, cost paid to meaning what? Meaning if it's a CPT, cost paid to, which I seldom see. I don't see this. In fact, I hardly see this. So this one is the buyer is only responsible for the inland to the custom warehouse until the buyer warehouse. So it's quite safe. So cost paid to, and I hardly see this coverage. But if it is in the Incoterms by the seller, in the seller's shipment, so basically means the seller is responsible all the way up to the custom or bonded warehouse. Okay, so this is quite good on the side of the buyer because you don't have to worry anything until the warehouse. You just go down and collect your stuff. Okay, so very simple, very straightforward. All right. Carrier insurance paid to. Okay, this is called CIP. CIP also. Again, once it's issued on a CIP, the buyer is only responsible for the inland transit in between the bonded warehouse to their own warehouse. Okay, so that means it's very, very short. So if it's CIP, meaning the seller is responsible for the big chunk of the way. Okay, all the way to the warehouse, bonded warehouse is all responsible by the seller, and the buyer is just have to go to the bonded warehouse to collect the thing. Okay, so this CIP. This also I hardly see. Not very common. Not very common. Okay, now this is delivered at place unloaded. Wow, this one means DPU. DPU means the buyer is fully responsible from the custom bonded warehouse until the buyer warehouse only. Again, it's more or less like the earlier one. However, this one is they will cover the unloading as well. Okay, why? Because like I said, loading and unloading is the most dangerous part. It's the most dangerous part. If a lot of times the shipment arrives safely, but during the loading and unloading part, during the unloading time, once the wind blows, the thing can just topple and fall down and completely damage. Total loss. Yes, it happened many times. We suffer a lot of losses because of that. Like I say, when there's one time I remember my own client, when I was in KL, in multi-purpose days, what happened is they're supposed to carry a tower. So it's GIT, carrying tower. So they have 2 cranes to carry the tower onto a low ride. They call it the low loader with 18 wheel low loader. so you just carry the thing. But so when they carry one of the what I call it string snap, I tell you the holding thing fall down and damage. And luckily, because it was in part, so that particular part was damaged, and that particular part alone cost us at that time, in the year 2006, I remember. That part alone is cost us 200,000 just to repair that parts. So, and the premium we collect that day is only like what, 300 ringgit. Pay 200,000 for 300 ringgit premium. So that's why insurance is like that. You pay a little bit of money, and you got a lot of big of protection, and when there's a total loss, at least you know that your premium paid is worthwhile. All right, so this is also not common. It's called DAP, not Democratic Action Party, but delivered at place. Meaning what? Meaning all journey is, this is where you find the policy wording warehouse to warehouse, okay, means every single stretch of the journey is all covered, warehouse to warehouse cover, okay, DAP. And normally DAP are very, very expensive. Warehouse to warehouse are normally very, very expensive, because the seller is responsible from their warehouse all the way to your warehouse, to the buyer's warehouse, including unloading. Safely unload. Okay, that's why it's warehouse to warehouse cover. And like I say, the moment you have this warehouse to warehouse cover, is normally the most expensive. All right. So basically, I've come to the end of my sorry, another one, delivery duty paid. This one is the same as the DAP, but they pay all the duty that is required along the way. So as you know, there are many duties along the way, but normally this is seldom being used, because duty is a subjective calculation, and certain custom have a certain it will have a different calculation basis. And normally DDP, or delivery duty paid situation, is not frequent, and it's not common, because like I say, the seller won't know what is the cost for the custom charges, and it can be very high, so nobody's going to take that risk. But however, this is allowed, but I don't see this at all. It's hardly ever being used. Okay, so basically, like I say, I want to reiterate, the most common ones are DAP, not very common, warehouse to warehouse. Okay, CIP, not very common, CPT, not very common, cost paid to, CIF is common. Okay, cost insurance rate, all up to the destination port, this is common. CFR, not that common. FOB is the most common, because like I say, the seller only responsible for the goods in transit in their area up to the port only. That's why FOB is the most common. Okay. FAS, free alongside ship, not common. Free carrier, not that common. This is extremely common. X word. Meaning what? Meaning the moment the buyer buys, the buyer will be responsible for every part of the journey, all up to his warehouse. This is very, very, very common. What we are doing every day is on X word. For example, if I go to a grocery shop, I buy something, I put in my car, I drive home, I'm on my own already. So this is X word. Okay. So basically, I've come to the end of my presentation. Now I'm going to go to the interesting part. That is, hang on. Okay, I'm going to go to the interesting part, which is this quiz time. All right, just to test your mental ability to absorb all the information. Okay, so basically quiz time number 1. Okay, see whether you all know. How many incoterms are there? Just now I go back, show you, see whether you still remember or not. Okay, but I'm going to make it very easy for you. I'm going to give you A, B, C. Okay. Okay, what is your answer? A, B, or C?
Okay. Okay. 3 answers B, 1 answer C, 4 Bs, 5 Bs, 2 Cs, 6 Bs, C, mostly Bs, few Cs.
Okay. For those who answer B, bingo, good job. Congratulations, there are only 11 Incoterms. Huh? Okay, great. Now, quick quiz time number 2. Which are the ones that are frequently used? Okay, FOB and CIF, FCA and CFR, EXW and DAP. Which are the ones? I mentioned this a few times just now.
Okay, for questions 2, all answer A, 1 C, mostly A, 2
Mostly A,
Cs, 1 B,
mostly
2 Cs, mostly A.
mostly A. Good job, everybody. That means you have been paying attention. Good job. Okay, quick quiz number 3. Answer. Okay, quick quiz number 3. What types of shipment do Incoterms being applied to? Is it by land, by sea, by air? I think I mentioned this in the first slide. In the first slide, I already mentioned this.
1 A, all Bs, 1 C, all Bs, mostly Bs.
Mostly Bs.
Mm.
Are you sure? Mostly Bs?
Yep. Yep.
Well, this is a trick question. All of them.
1 answer all. Yep.
Those who answer all, that means you are good.
Yep.
Remember,
Only 1
it's
answer.
applicable to all, not just by C, but mostly by C lah. FOB, CIF, mostly by C. You're right, mostly by C. But you can use this for all. You can use it by land, by air, by sea, all you can use. All right, so we are ahead of time. I've come to the end. This is a short course for Incoterms. Now I'm gonna stop sharing. I'm gonna read. Wow, 323 people, very good. I'm gonna read your messages if there is any, so that I can answer your question. Okay, okay. QR code. Okay, sorry, QR code. So those of you who registered the first QR code in the morning, then that's it, right? Fatah, they don't have to re-register, right?
Correct. Yes. Already
Okay, so
mentioned.
your
Yeah.
QR code you put up are meant for those who just joined the second session only, right?
Precisely. Yes.
Okay, so please remember you have already recorded your first session, then you don't have to repeat. If you just join on the second session, please click on this QR code, scan on the QR code for your attendance. So I'm going to read through all the things. Okay, these are all the answer, right? Question and answer. Send QR code. Okay, Okay, the QR code. No sound.
No.
Sound.
Just now when you what you had you take your phone call.
Oh, sorry.
Uh,
Yeah, sorry for the interruption. Like I say, I'm waiting for TNB to call me for so many days, and they finally call me, and I have to answer because or else I'll miss it. What is FCL? Oh, good question. Lifun Cinema. Okay, FCL stands for full container load. Full container load. As you can see in a photo like this, the ship, they carry all the container, right? The container load, one container, if it's full container load means you take the full container to yourself. You only put your own goods. Sorry. So, Whereas if it's LCL, less container load, meaning you share your container with somebody else. Okay, so always, like I say, full container load is normally more expensive because you take the whole container, but it's safer because that whole container only holds your thing, only have your item inside there. You don't share with somebody else. Less container load, they have to share that container with somebody else. Okay, I can understand because sometimes when you do shipment, when you order import, if you order a small item, normally it's under LCL, less container load, because it only occupies certain space in a big container. Container normally is like 20 foot long, right? So you got a lot of space. You don't tell me you just take, so you may share. Okay, when you share it out, less container load is cheaper. However, the risk is there because you don't know what other people item inside there. They can contaminate your item, right? For example, or the item is illegal, or illegal item, or they are carrying some acidic item or very toxic item that may damage your item. So basically, that's the difference: full container load and less container load. So FCL stands for full container load. All right. Thank you so much. Okay, all answer. I'm just reading through all your answer. Okay, good, 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 good. Okay, the one personal, you answer all, fantastic. You got it right. From the POV of the consignor in a FOB situation where the consignor wants to insure the portion of cargo where the risk consignor and warehouse across the rail instead of the entire, how does one that via marine insurance for GIT? I'm aware that the consignor is not required to buy, but say consignor is very insurance savvy. Okay, just now you have learned. So the best is, of course, you purchase a DAP lah, warehouse to warehouse. Then no issue. Warehouse to warehouse cover. To answer this kind of situation, to cover warehouse to warehouse, you want to make sure that everything is covered, no loophole, no leakages. It's always DAP, warehouse to warehouse. But I can assure you that warehouse to warehouse is going to be more expensive. So because the risk is higher already, the risk is very long, especially if you were to import, right? So always, like I say, if it's all due to your costing. A lot of times, a lot of my clients those days, when I talk to them, they always say they let their banks do it for them because they want to get involved. They just issue the LC, so normally the banks will just once the bank insure for them, then issue the LC and everything. All these costs will be factored inside already. The shipment cost, the freight charges, the custom, the duties, everything will be cost inside. So they will handle everything for them. Like I say, if you were to opt for DAP, warehouse to warehouse delivery at place, that is the best. However, the cost will be higher for insurance. All right. I hope that answers your question. Any more question? All right. If no question now, it's 11:45. I'll let you all off early for your early lunch. So we'll be back at 2 p.m. for another interesting topic, clauses and endorsement. I will see you all at 2 o'clock, clauses and endorsement. So now you can go for your early lunch and have a long, at 3:30 to 4:30 will be the last training. So now I'm going to go deep dive into training for today, third topic for today, which is called the clauses and endorsement. All right. So I'm gonna, as usual, I'm gonna off my camera to not to disrupt the line. I'll just share my deck. Please let me know if you can see it.
Okay.
All right, thank you. So basically, clauses and endorsement application. Okay, first thing first, I need to share some interesting, one interesting story. A few years ago, many years ago, when I was a young man, I remember meeting one client with one agent of mine. At that time, I was in Klang. So we went to see the client, and the client I remember one thing. The client showed us one policy. It was a public liability policy. Then he said, our quotation is so simple, only like have a few clauses, whereas other people quotation got so many clauses, like 2 full page of clauses. Wow! I said, can I read? Can you share it to me? So he shared to me. So I said, sir, all these clauses they put down here is not to your benefit. It is an exclusion. You see, what is exclusion? I said, exclusion is anything goes wrong here, it's not payable. Then you say, how can it be? How can they put a not payable thing inside my policy? Isn't it the more item inside there, the more payable it is, the wider the coverage? I said, no, it's not. That's not the case. You have to read the fine line, the fine print, because they put in a lot of clauses to make that as if their policy is very wide. But actually, it's not very wide. It's very narrow. They're only insuring a few things. A lot of the time, a lot of the items down there, they are under exclusion, means it's not payable. Then only the client realized that, not all clauses are good for them. Okay, so when I was designing this course, this particular training, I put into my mind, in my head, I said, what are the clauses that will benefit your client? Okay, the reason why I want to do this is because I want you to impress your client that you know something that they don't know. Okay, see, because a lot of times your client normally they will have a policy already. They will have a policy from the bank. Let's say if they take loan from the bank, or they have an existing policy. Okay, so now once they have existing policy, most of the time I win the case if they can share with me the policy, because you know what, I can always find the mistake in that policy, and what are the lapses, what are the things missing, what are the things are not there. Then I will tell them that, okay, look, Mr. Client, this policy is good, but they don't have this, they don't have that, they don't have this, they don't have that, and mine got this, got that, got this, got that, and my premium is the same. When you show it to the client like that, that means the client will trust you more, because you help them to resolve their issue and you highlight to them what is missing from their policy. Because a lot of times the client do not read the policy. Okay, they, being normal human being, nobody reads the fine line. Okay, there are 40 over pages to our multi-biz policy, for example. You think they want to read, they're not going to read. Okay, so you're going to read it for them and you're going to identify for them, these are the things that you think should have, but however they don't have. Don't worry, if you insure yours, we'll provide it for you. And what are the advantage? So now I've thought of this with this idea in mind. I come up with all these clauses that I think that will benefit your customer. It is benefiting to your customer, and when you share with them all this calculation, information, they will be more grateful to you, and they will listen to you, and they will have more faith and trust in you. Okay, so, and then your business will continue. Not only that, that client, they will recommend his own relatives to ask them to share their existing policy with you, so that you can look through and highlight to them what are the mistakes, which I did those days. I did it for FOC. I say, free of charge. I don't have to charge you a single cent. You just give it to me. I'll read through and I'll let you know what is the coverage and what is not the coverage. Okay, what are you lacking? And for the same premium, actually you can get better coverage from this and that. So that's how I won a lot of cases those days. And some of my agent to those days until today are still my agent, still my friend, because I helped them before. Okay, so basically, like I say, customer will appreciate if you can share with them what are the clauses and endorsement that will benefit them. All right, what will benefit them? Okay, so today we're going to zero in on those beneficial clauses and endorsement from the master policy or fire policy. Okay, so basically this is the topic for today, and then go into details. All right, so why clauses endorsement are required? Okay, that's agenda for today. 6 useless clauses. What are the 6? They are escalation clause, capital addition clause, contract price clause, other contract clause, temporary storage clause, and also declaration clause. Okay, So some of you have attended my class. I remember I went over to the branches and I've done this physical training, but maybe you can take this as a refresher course. Okay, 5 clauses and endorsement. Okay, always remember, a policy wording is a standard policy wording, meaning every policy is standard. The preamble, the policy, the content is more or less standardized. Okay. However, clauses and endorsement are not. Clauses and endorsement are items that can be inserted or deleted from the policy by the underwriter. Underwriter have the rights to put in a certain clause, a certain endorsement, if they feel it is necessary. Okay, and most of the time, all these clauses and endorsements are not standard. Okay, I repeat, are not standard. So basically, company A, company B, company C, company D, chances are you see 4 sets of different clauses and endorsement in their policy, all different. Okay, but majority of them are the same. Majority are the same because we all follow the standardized policy wording by PIAM. So it's a standard policy wording. However, like I say, endorsement and clauses, underwriters can put in and can take out. They can add in, they can take out. Okay, it's up to the underwriter's decision. Okay, then why is it required? Reason is serve two purposes only. Number one is to widen the coverage. Okay. Okay. The moment you have to widen the coverage, chances are you have to pay more premium. That is the law. That is the rule. Okay. The Chinese say 一分钱一分货. Okay. So meaning one 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 unit of money, 1 unit of item. So basically, the more you pay, the more coverage you have. Okay. So that's what it means. So certain clauses endorsement is to limit the coverage. Like I said just now, when I started this training, I told you that I have met a customer who showed me a lot of clauses from their public liability policy, and I told them actually those clauses are not beneficial to you. Those are limitation. Those are exclusion, meaning those are not payable things that are not payable. They list down one by one, not all the not payable thing. But to a layman, to a Chinese businessman, SME, he doesn't know. He thought all these are the coverage. I said no, it's not the coverage. It's the exclusion. So basically, clauses endorsement are there to serve two purposes. One is to widen the coverage, and the other one is to limit the coverage. Okay, limit. Some is to totally take away the coverage. There are certain exclusion. But most of the time the endorsement or the clauses are there to protect the insurance company from catastrophic losses. Normally they will just put a sublimit. This policy, this clause, or whatever, they will put a condition, this condition, or put a warranty, this warranted. So basically, all these are considered clauses and endorsement that is added onto a policy to make the policy complete, or make the policy more secure, and also either to give a wider protection or to limit the losses. Okay, so basically two things. Caution, caution, not all clauses or endorsement are good nor bad for the insurer. It can be good, it can be bad. Okay, we must choose the appropriate ones to be applied and to maximize the coverage for the benefit of the insurer. Okay, so that is your job as an agent. How you win cases, how you compare yourself to the other agent outside there is that you know what are the clauses. You know how to apply the clauses. You know when to use this clause and when not to use this clause. So that when you have all this added knowledge, when you were to attack one business, when you look at the competitor's policy, like I say, you know what is wrong with that policy and you can advise them what is good. So by doing that, you are being a consultant, and when you're a consultant, people will definitely trust you and they will consult you more and more, and your business will just definitely grow. Okay, so that is the reason why, like I say, knowledge is always very powerful. The more knowledge you have, the more powerful you become. Okay, so let's go into it. So for today's purpose, there are many clauses. too many to mention. I chose 6, okay, for the benefit of time. I only have 1 hour. So I chose 6 that are useful, that you can use immediately, and you can use it to your advantage because you can advise your client so that they can have all these clauses. And the best part is that the ones that I'm going to introduce to you, there is no additional premium charge. That's the beauty. It is free. It's already there. You just need to use it, and it's adding benefit to your customer. Okay. Okay, the first one is called escalation clause. Second one is capital addition clause. Third one is contract price clause, other content clause, temporary storage clause, and also a declaration clause. Okay, declaration policy. All right. So basically, we go through one by one, then we can understand more. Okay. Escalation clause. Okay. Okay. Sorry. Just now I said that it's free, but certain clause need money. For example, this one need a little bit of money. A little bit of money. Very cheap money. But it's good for your customer. Okay. Now, first thing first is escalation clause. What does escalation clause mean? Escalation means that in consideration of the payment of additional premium amounting to 50% only of the premium produced by applying the specific percentage to the first or the annual premium as appropriate to the under-noted item, the sum insured thereby shall, during the period of insurance, be increased each day by amount representing 1/365 of the specified percentage increase per annum. Okay, what does it mean? Okay, all wording, all you can see is 1/365. Okay, what does it mean? What does it mean? Okay, to be honest with you, escalation clause means you can claim more than your amount when you start of the year by allowing escalation, meaning increase in sum insured. Okay, why? Simple reason. Inflation is forever there. Everything will increase. Nothing decreases. Okay, even our age will increase. Our white hair also will increase. So likewise, inflation will be there. Everything will be more costly. No joke, everything will be more costly. So as time goes by, let's say, for example, you take a policy 1st January. 1st January. In November, let's say you have suffered a loss. Do you know that by November, the increase of the material, the raw material, the manpower, everything has increased within that 1 year, unknowingly to you. Okay, then suddenly when there is a loss, it's inadequate. Your sum insured is inadequate. Okay, so basically this clause can assist you in that. All right, so I'm gonna give you a very, very simple example. Escalation can be applied for building and machinery. Okay, building and machinery. For example, your building, you put in a 10% escalation clause for them. Okay, and for machine, you put in a 20%. Let's say, so now let's say the gross premium for building was 3,000 ringgit, and machine is 1,000 ringgit. So how much is the premium to be paid? Okay, so very simple. What you do is, for building, you just take the 3,000 premium times the increased level of 10% times 50%, because you see down there you pay 50%, 50%. So you only add 150 ringgit only. Okay, for building. Let's say for machine, the premium was 1,000. So if you want to add 20%, so you add 20% times 50%, you got 100 ringgit. Okay, so that is the additional premium to be paid for this escalation. Okay, what does this 10%, 20% escalation means? It means that this building, when the first sum insured is 2 million, okay, by end of the year, this building can claim up to 2.2 million, 10%. See that? See that? It depending on the date of the loss. Let's say the date of the loss is 30th June, half year. So at that time, how much can you claim? You can claim 2.1 million, 50%. Okay, because you already increased 10% of that. Okay, so 10% is 2 million, 200,000. So you can claim 100,000 extra. So it becomes 2.1 million. Okay. Okay. How about machine? Machine is the same, but machine, because we put 20% down here, so by the end of the year, meaning you can get 0.6 million for your machine. Okay. Let's say it's half year, you can get 0.55 million for this. So escalation clause is there to safeguard your client business from having to bear the losses on the inflation cost. Okay, understand? All right. So how useful is it? This is a very good example. Let's say the fire happened on the 30th. Same example, same condition. The fire happened on 30th of December, meaning it's on the last day, day 364, resulting total loss, totally burned down. 2.5 million totally burned down. So 2.5 million burned down, how much can your customer get if they have an escalation clause down here? So this is how you get. You see, he can claim 2.199 million for the building, and he can claim 599 for the machine. So he, in other words, 199,000 extra for the building and 600,000 extra for the machinery. How much premium he has to pay? Extra 250 ringgit only. See, see the difference? With that, your customer will be definitely very, very happy to have this escalation clause inserted into their policy. Okay, because like I say, this is to safeguard them against inflation measure, inflationary measure, or the inflation rise in cost to to replace or to reinstate. Okay, if it's total loss, then they got this amount, which is so much better than the 2.5 million. They're gonna get 2.8 million. Okay, see or not? 600,000 against 2.2 million. 2.2 million plus 600,000 is 2.8. So 2.8 million. When he first started out, his policy was 2.5 million. So 300,000, lebih kurang 300,000 extra payment for him just by paying extra 250 ringgit. So this escalation clause is very, very important. Look at your competitors' policy. If they don't have this, explain this condition to them. Make sure that once they hear this, definitely they will cancel their policy and sign up with you. Then make sure you park under generally. Thank you very much. So we will guide you on how to calculate it on the actual case. This is just an example. This is just an example. But on actual case, don't worry, your MO are all well trained to calculate this. They will calculate it for you. Okay? All right. Let's move on to clause number 2. Capital addition clause. Okay, just now the escalation clause. Now we go to capital addition clause. Do you know that capital addition clause is allowed? What does capital addition clause? Meaning you can add in the capital as the word, as the clause mentioned. It is permissible for insurance on building, machinery, plant, fixture, and fitting to be extended to cover alteration, improvement, and addition for amount not exceeding 10%, or by each item, or 1 million per location, whichever is less. Meaning your customer can have their capital added by 10% or 1 million per location. And there's no additional premium charge. Fantastic, isn't it? So a lot of people are not aware. A lot of your agent, a lot of your competitor agent are not aware. They just simply sell, just everything follow. They don't know that they can add this. If you add this, like I say, you can assist your customer in order for them to have additional capital once there is a claim. Okay, for example, now in the event there is more than one location, the limit may be increased to 2 million. This amount being aggregate limit for all locations. Let's say they have 2 or 3 locations, this aggregate up, total up must be 2 million. Okay. Okay, just now was 1 million per location, but maximum you get 2 million only. So basically, let's say they got 3 locations, that means it's 8. They can divide the 2 million into 3 locations. Okay. This extension may only be granted where the total sum insured of 1.5 million above, but it's not be applied insurance on stock in trade or merchandise. That means you can only put capital addition on what? On building, machinery, plant, fixture, and fittings. Okay. People ask me, what is the difference between plant and building? Actually, it's the same. It's a factory plant. It's plant, fixture, and fittings. Okay. Sometimes the plant does not have a building. Why? Because it's just a metal structure. Just two metal structure, four metal structure, and then a ceiling. What call it? They call it the carbureted aluminum as a ceiling. That's it. So basically, this is called plant. There's no building there. Just four pillars only. Okay. So that's what it means. Now, however, by adding this capital addition clause onto the policy, the insured, I mean the client, must advise the company every 3 months of such alteration, if there is. Okay, that means if your client were to do alteration, renovation, addition, improvement, and they must, after the 3 months, they must pay the appropriate additional premium they on. Okay, so let's say the extension is very, very great. They have 3 months of free cover only. Remember, there is a caveat here. There's a condition. So, meaning during the second month, you don't have to declare, but something happened. Don't worry, we'll pay you full, but you just have to recover back the amount only. That's all. Okay, so that is what it means. All right. So, in other words, if you do not tell the company after 3 months or 4 months, then of course those additional part is not covered. But if you were to inform us within 3 months, that means you got 3 months of leniency. Okay, the window is 3 months. So how useful is this? Is this, for example, I'm going to give it the same example, not the same example, this different example, but I'm going to share with you how is it on the calculator. Okay, so machine is 2.5 million, gross premium is 2,005. Let's say, for example, gross additional capacity feature added due to increase in order, total 500,000, making the total sum issued is 3 million. Okay, on the second month, there's a big flood and the machine was totally destroyed. Okay, under this clause, the additional indemnity should be 2.5 million, the original sum insured, plus 10%. Okay, plus 10%, because it's the amount not exceeding 10%. There's the condition of the clause. It's become 2.75. Okay, the insured should pay an additional premium of 250 for this clause. They just pay the extra 250 ringgit based on 10% of this. They can get 2.75 million in the event of a loss within the third month. Any alteration, 3 months, there is a gap. There's this period you must inform the insurance. So for this particular example, 2 months, within 2 months, there's a big flood and the machine was totally destroyed. Okay, so now if they don't have this capital addition clause, what will happen? If they don't have this additional clause, they can only claim up to 2.5 million. So they lost 250,000. Your client will lose 250,000 if they do not have this capital addition clause. All right. So because they have this capital addition clause, after the loss, they just have to add another 250 ringgit. Then they can get 2.75 million. So that's the difference. So that's the importance of having a capital addition clause to your machinery, building, plant, fixture, and fittings for your customer to have peace of mind in the event that they have any additional improvement to their machine, and then they forgot to tell you within that 3 months period. Okay. All right. So next we move on to what we call contract price clause. Okay. Before I go deeper into this, I need to explain certain thing, certain principle of insurance. Remember, principle of insurance is all about indemnity. What does indemnity means? Indemnity means you must not make profit. You must not make profit. Insurance company only indemnify you based on your loss amount, and you cannot profit from it. So that's what the principle of insurance is all about. Okay. Now, if indemnity, meaning if my item is worth 100 ringgit, and when I lost, I can only claim 100 ringgit. Okay. But normally, as a sales, and when we do sales, our items cost 100 ringgit, but do we sell at 100 ringgit? No, right? How much do we sell? We sell at 200 ringgit, right? Because the cost price is 100 ringgit, so normally we sell at 200 ringgit. So now, will the insurance pay me at 200 ringgit? in the event of a loss? Of course, no lah, because the 100 ringgit is your profit. How can you make profit out of it, right? So indemnity means you cannot make profit of it. Even though your item is being sold at 200 ringgit, your cost price is 100 ringgit, you only can get indemnified at 100 ringgit. Okay, so that is the basic understanding. That is the fundamental principle of the law of insurance, indemnity. Okay, why I need to explain this is because contrary to that, contract price, you can make profit. Yes, you can. You can. For this particular clause, you can. How can you do it? Okay, I'm going to explain to you. Okay, notwithstanding anything contrary to contains the condition 17 market value of the policy, it is hereby declared and agreed that in respect of only of goods sold but not delivered. Okay, that means if you have the customer already sold that good but not yet delivered and is kept in his premise, supposed to deliver tomorrow, but tonight there is a big fire, or there's a big flood and damage the item. So how much is the insurance company going to pay them? Okay, the insurance going to pay them is the sale contract. The value of the contract price. Okay, so now that means goods sold but not delivered for which the insured is responsible and with regard to which under condition of the sale contract is cancelled by reason of fire or any other perils hereby insured against, either wholly or to the extent of the loss or damage, the liability of the company shall be based on the contract price. So you see or not? So meaning if you have already sold the item at 200 ringgit, even though your cost price is 100 ringgit, the item now is the contract price 200 ringgit. Insurance company, in the event of total loss, you have to pay you 200 ringgit based on the contract price. Okay. And for the purpose of calculating the value of all goods to which this clause will be in the event of destruction or damage applicable to the same basis shall be used. Okay. So basically, another word is, I'm going to give an example. The bicycle manufacturer produces 100 bikes per month at a cost of 100 ringgit per bike, including labor, 50 parts, 100 material. In a year, they produce 1,200 bike, or cost 180,000 part and material alone. Okay, was cost 120,000. This for easy calculation sake. Now they have signed contract to supply 50 bikes to a client, and the contract price was 300 ringgit per bike. Okay, now you see or not, they have doubled it. Okay, of total bike. This 50 bike was packed and sealed to container ready to be shipped. Then suddenly there's a big landslide happen and damage the entire factory and its content. Okay, so for this particular 50 bike, how is the calculation? Okay, this is the calculation. This is how they're gonna, the insurance company gonna compensate. Okay, if there's no contract price clause in the policy, in the event of total loss, the adjuster will calculate the market value of the stock available at maximum 120,000. Why 120,000? Because okay, that is that's how many bikes they produce, okay. Now, however, if there is a contract price clause, the total indemnity will be 115 plus the contract price of 300,000 times 50. That means another 10,000 ringgit they can claim from here. If there is a contract for that 50 item, the bike, remember just now, they already sold this bike at 300 ringgit per bike. So basically the contract price here, the difference, they have to be responsible. Okay, so that's what is good about this contract price clause is. Okay, so in a nutshell, the moment any customer of yours or your customer sold their item, they have a contract received for the price, and in the event that before they deliver the item, it was being damaged or destroyed by the insured peril, then the price of the contract will be paid by the insurance company. All right. So again, this is good when you were to approach any of your customer who has pre-order items that are pre-order. They need to pre-order. Okay, somebody pre-order, then they manufacture it. So all these are considered contract price already. Okay, anything that is sold to them, in other words, the customer already based on this amount to pay for them. Okay, these are the one that will be compensated accordingly. Okay. All right. So one more item which is very important, and but every time I show this, a lot of people are not that thrilled because they say the compensation amount is not big enough. But at least whole more better than nothing, huh? Okay. Other content clause. Okay, I'm going to share with you how other content clause work. Okay. Now, okay, please bear in mind, all these clauses endorsement were issued way back in the 1980s. 1980s. So, and that tariff until today, there's not much changes onto it, and the amount is still the same until today. It's still the same. Way back in the 80s, that 1,000 ringgit is a lot of money. But today, 1,000 ringgit, not much. But still better than nothing, right? Okay, so that's what it means, right? Do you know? Do you know that in the event of a loss, a fire, a loss, or a flood, total loss, you can claim additional 1,000 ringgit if you have this other content clause. Okay, for what? For all these items, 5 items: money, stamp, document, manuscript, stationery, computer, stenograph, pattern, model, molds, plan, design, plus employee personal effect. Okay, let's say your staff, they got their own bag, they got a bag down there, they got a handphone down there, everything that's damaged. Okay, up to 1,000 ringgit, the insurance company will pay you on top of your other losses. Okay, so basically this is like I say a free cover, free money to the client if they were to suffer catastrophe. Okay, and without this clause, you cannot get this extra 1,000. But with this clause in, you can get extra 1,000. Okay, so and this clause is free anyway. So basically, in other words, insurance company being Santa Claus donate this 1,000 ringgit to your customer if in the event of a loss, they have this other content clause. Okay. If this clause, insured can claim an additional 1,000 for any of these 5 items. Okay. So long as any one of these 5 items you just put it in, then the insurance company will pay you already based on other contents clause condition. Like I say, 1,000 ringgit may not be a lot. I'm not sure whether PM or anybody, the authority will revise this upward, but bear in mind that 1,000 ringgit, when this policy was being designed way back in the 1980s, that 1,000 ringgit is a lot of money. Okay, I would say it's around 5,000. It's worth 5,000 ringgit of today lah. The 1,000 ringgit of in the 1980s is worth 5,000 ringgit of today. Okay, around 40 years ago, right? So no, yeah, 40 years ago. So 40 years ago, yeah, it's 1,000 ringgit. Those days, 40 years ago, is around 5,000 ringgit today. The value. Okay. All right, so next one is called temporary storage clause. Okay, as the name suggests, it's a temporary storage. Why is this clause important? This clause is a very, very interesting clause because this clause means what? Means your customer can put their property, okay, property excluding building, excluding under a policy which while temporarily stored anywhere in Malaysia, Brunei, and Singapore. Wow. Yes. You can put in Singapore, you can put in Brunei. This is fantastic because, so in other words, if your customer got business in Brunei and Singapore, up to how many days? Up to 60 days, 2 months. Insurance company give free cover, temporary storage. Isn't it good? Like I say, if you have this clause, okay, if your customer got business anywhere, okay, not just in Brunei or Singapore, it can be anywhere. Let's say, for example, if you're in KL, your customer is in KL, but then again, he got a lot of business in Penang or a lot of business in Johor, then he can put his item down there. For how long? For 60 days. 60 days. Okay. So, of course, there's a condition. You cannot exceed 60 days, and the liability is limited to 10%. Of course, insurance company also need to safeguard their underwriting profit. So you pay you up to 10% or 500,000, whichever is lower. So in other words, It's not another word. This is a clause where we limit our loss, okay, to 10% of the total sum insured or 500,000. Meaning, also, if you look at it from the other angle, is that the insurance company allow 500,000 of goods to be stored anywhere in Malaysia for 60 days. If you look at it from the other angle, so from this angle means, okay, there's a 10% of the total sum. Let's say your sum insured is small, then 10% of that. If your sum insured is very big, is subject to up to 500,000. Okay. So if your total sum insured is only 1 million, then of course you can only apply how much? You can apply 100,000 lah. Because 10% of sum insured. It depends on whichever is lower. Okay, whichever is lower. The company shall not be liable for any loss or damage to the property while in transit. Okay, so basically there is no transit cover here. So let's say if you need to put temporary storage at another place somewhere else, you need to buy a GIT policy from us. Okay, we happily issue you a GIT policy so that you can temporarily store your item, okay, elsewhere for maximum 60 days. This insurance does not apply to property insofar as it is otherwise insured, or does it apply to motor vehicle, motor chassis, licensed road user being used on fresh model. Okay, so another word, anything that can use on the road is not applicable to use this. So in other words, if you have a car, you can use temporary store somewhere, can, but anything goes wrong to your car, you must claim it under the motor insurance and not this fire insurance. All right, so that is what it means. Okay, so I hope you all understand what this temporary storage clause is all about. So how useful is it? Okay, share with you. This effectively is a free cover for any good or machinery or equipment. Because why machinery equipment? Because building is not allowed. Definitely. Okay. Goods, machine or equipment is allowed. Buildings are not allowed. Okay. So long as it's goods, machine or equipment worth up to 500,000 or 10% of total sum insured, whichever is lower, can be placed anywhere in Malaysia, in Brunei, in Singapore. Like I said, this is a fantastic free cover. Okay, so please make use of this cover. Please advise your customer if they have a competitor's policy. Look for this.
Kalau ada sayur tu sedap.
Ada sayur sedap.
Tak ada sayur. Kalau ada...
Tak ada sayur tak sedap. Ada sayur lagi sedap. Ya, saya pun tahu. Please mute your mic. Siapa yang cakap tu. Okay, so basically, the what do you call it? This temporary storage clause, again, like I say, is not freely given. It's not freely given. Underwriters normally will only allow this if you have a sizable business with us, and also your customer have many sub-location. Okay, sub-location. Let's say, for example, they got a few branches to insure with us. Okay, reason being because insurance company, they have to safeguard their own underwriting guideline. So basically, like I said, 10% of total sum insured or 500,000, whichever is lower, is applicable. And normally it is based on the individual location. So for example, your location is in let's say in Shah Alam. Okay, Shah Alam. So your location, your sum insured down there is, let's say your total sum insured is 2 million, right? So how much is your temporary storage allowed outside of Shah Alam? Is 200,000. So that is what it means. Okay, it's not that 500,000, because 500,000 is the total sum insured. But if your Shah Alam office is only 2 million, it's based on 2 million times 10%. That's 200,000. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. Okay, now we come to the. Oh, sorry, I forgot this one. The construction class, or location is not a consideration. Okay, last but not least is the what we call a declaration policy. Okay, declaration policy. I remember when I was a young man. When I was a young man in Teluk Intan as a branch manager, I secured one big risk by doing this declaration for the customer. Okay, the customer was so happy. Those days, way back in the early 2000, I was a branch manager in the year 2001. Okay, those days, the declaration policy, you can collect upfront at 75% only. Yes, those days there's a 25% commission, so-called deduction. So it make the policy very attractive because a lot of times, the especially those manufacturing, their biggest sum insured is actually their stock. Yes, their stock. The building maybe they just a simple building only made of metal. Okay, so it's a very simple building, and some of them they don't use a lot of machinery. They use a lot of manpower. So it's all labor incentive, labor intensive. Okay, labor incentive, labor intensive. So they make a lot of human manpower. So they don't need that much machinery. But their stock, they got a lot. Because why? They keep stock. Because when they buy in bulk, they got a cheaper rate. So they always keep stock and they have a lot of stock in their premises. Okay, so when you calculate out the premium for them, normally the stock will take up more than 2/3 of their premium. Okay, now this declaration policy, you come in, I came in those days, I explained to the customer, actually your at that time the competitor or somebody else, I'm not going to mention their name. I said, do you know that you insure with them, they do not allow you stock declaration 25% discount upfront? The customer said, what do you mean 25% discount? So I calculate out for them. If you insure with us, this is how you get. So the customer was so happy, but also very angry. You know why? Because they have been insuring with that same company for the past 10 years and they have never helped them to save. I said, if the past 10 years you were to insure with me, every year you have saved 25%, past 10 years, how many percent you have saved? You have saved more than 200%. Wow, that makes the client lagi angry. So I said, don't worry, I cannot turn back the clock, but I can save you from today and tomorrow onwards. If you insure me, I'll give you this. This is your protection for you. So that's how I won the account. And that account stayed with me for many, many years. So I was very happy. Anyway, like I say, knowledge is power. So with this knowledge, but unfortunately today, the 25% discount is no longer there. So we cannot use this as a what do you call it, as a bargaining chip. But it's still good because this declaration policy can save your customer a lot of money. Okay, I'm going to share with you. Okay, so basically declaration, meaning the summary of query is, on the expiry of each period of insurance, the premium shall be calculated at the rate applicable on the average sum insured. Namely, the total of the value declared or deemed to have been declared divided by the number of declaration due to have been made. If the resultant premium be greater than the provisional premium, the insured shall pay the difference. If it be less, the difference shall be repaid to the insured, but such repayment shall not exceed 50% of the provisional premium. Okay. So what does it mean? It means that every end of the policy period, if you have a declaration policy basis on the stock, you can calculate back. We take an average of 12 months. Then if the beginning of the year they have overstated their sum insured, then we'll refund them. If they understate, then we will collect the additional premium. Okay. So when we refund up to 50%. But when we were to recalculate that and then we notice that the average sum insured is above their initial sum insured since the beginning of the year, then we'll collect the difference of the premium. Okay, so I'm going to show you one example so that you can understand better. Okay, I'll do the calculation for you. So in other words, this clause will have saving of premium upfront for the insured while when paying for the provisional sum, as the stock value will fluctuate in the coming 12 months, and also save some premium for the insured if the stock level are less than the projected at the end of the policy period. Okay, why is that? Because every year, normally the customer will roughly know what is the stock level that required. Okay, but they forgot that certain month you have a higher peak, certain month you have a lower peak. So you don't necessarily have the same level of stock all the year. Am I right? So maybe certain month you have less stock, certain month you have more stock, certain month you have less stock, certain month to cater for the festive period. Okay, in Malaysia, very unique because we have 4 festive seasons. You have the Chinese New Year, we have the Hari Raya, we have the Deepavali, we have the Christmas. Okay, and also we have the New Year. 5. And then we have the Gawai so all these add up. You have so many festive season, right? Like for example, if you were to do flower, you got the Chinese New Year, you have the Valentine's Day, you have the the Chengbing Day. All these need flowers. So basically, all these period are peak period. Then there are some lean period. Okay, so lean period. So basically, in other words, for this policy, it will be advantage to your customer if their stock fluctuate from month to month. Okay, I'm going to show you one example so you can understand better. Okay, let's say for example, the month. Okay, month. The provisional is this. The first line is the provisional. Okay, so provisional meaning the client will say, okay, this is what I expect to have. Okay, and total at the end of the year is 180, 820. Okay, but actual only this. Actually, the second line. Okay, why May suddenly pick up so much? Oh, because May is the Hari Raya season. Okay, so pick up. Okay, June. Okay, so pick up it. Okay, then why Christmas? November. Okay, because it's Christmas and year-end season. Okay, so you pick up again. Okay, so basically that's what I mean. So the difference is 20,000. 20,000. Okay, so every month there's some differences, but the difference is 20,000. So for this particular client, congratulations. At the end of the year, we'll have to refund him. He'll get some more, some money refund. Okay, so this is what it means. All right. But if you have the average, the actual is more, then we'll calculate like this basis also. We see what are the additional, then we'll do a pro rata, then we'll charge them the difference. Okay, so that is what it means. All right. So based on the scenario above, okay, the stock value, 800, the insured will be allowed 200 worth refund. So for total rate, let's say the rate is 0.85, then the refund will be 170 ringgit. Okay, how useful is this? This basis will allow the insured a fair arrangement of refund if the stock value are lower than averagely, the level is below the sum insured, and in the beginning of the policy period. Like I say, every beginning of the policy period, the customer can just guesstimate. They can just estimate what is their stock, but they won't know the actual value until it really happened, until really order, or until when certain new, perhaps in that year they got a new big order coming in, so they need to increase. Okay, so basically all these things will take care of all the under insurance part already, because there is no such thing as under insurance, because the client can declare at the end of the year, right? So they can decline. When the client declare, only they show to us, or in the event of a loss, let's say in July, the client can always show you January to June what is the stock level. If you have a stock declaration, they just declare on that basis. You just divide it up. Okay, so long as it's within the sum insured, then you're not under insured, and therefore there's no average loss, no penalty. All right. So basically, like I say, this is a very good clause that will help your customer who are in business make sure that their stock level are they are appropriately covered, and they don't have to pay extra premium for it, or they don't have to worry about paying less, because at the end of the day we can just adjust it for them. We will charge it the difference at the end of the policy period. Either we charge them differently, additional premium, or we will refund the difference to them. Okay. So basically, I come to the end of the policy period. Okay, so policy period. This end of my presentation. And now, as usual, I will look at your question, if there is any, before I move on. Okay, I'm going to stop. I'm going to read 290 people. Good. I'm going to read the chat if there's any on the question asked. No question asked. Can I have the last slide? You want to see the last slide? You want to see the last slide? Okay. The last slide is regarding the I cannot. I'll go back. I don't know why. Example for the declaration. Okay. Uh, I don't know why suddenly my laptop is not. Okay, you want to see this? Okay, so basically, like I say, your customer, if they have a declaration policy, every month, I'm sure they have a stockkeeper, right? I'm sure they keep stock, they know their stock level. Once they show us their stock level, and then we chart against the policy's total sum insured. Okay, so now if we found that every month there's increase or decrease, we'll do a average total up and we divide total up again averagely. Then either we charge extra or we refund. Okay, very important. Either we charge extra or we refund. Okay, so when we refund, it's always up to 50% only. Okay, if we charge, there's no maximum. Okay, if we notice that the client has underinsured every month they underinsured. So when we calculate back, we notice that every month they underinsured, but when we charge back, we will charge them the full value. Okay, so the calculation of the additional premium will be, we take the actual value, then we minus off the premium that they paid, then we charge them the difference. There's no more maximum limit or minimum limit. Okay, they will definitely just follow exactly as per their declaration. All right. So, and insurance is all about utmost good faith. Utmost good faith again. So whatever they declare to us, we'll take it as correct and in order. Correct and in order, then we'll keep file. One good thing about this kind of arrangement is like this. Let's say they have been doing that for the past 5 years to us. We have the record of past 5 years. Okay. Now, suddenly this year, next year, sorry. Suddenly, in the beginning of the year, they have a big fire. Totally lost all their contract, all their record, all lost. The whole building burned down. All their file burned down. But luckily we have keep stock of their file, so we can do an average. Let's say their fire is in January. So we look back at past 5 years. What is the stock level of January? Okay, then we can tell them, okay, for the past 5 years, your average stock level is 1 million. Let's say, for example, it's 1 million. So in the event of a loss of this year, even though you don't have your record, but because we have a 5-year track record, we can compensate you based on 1 million, based on the track record that you've given us. So it's actually a good system for us to kind of counterbalance and counter check, because you know why? In the event of a loss, like I say, once there's a fire or there's a flood, everything is destroyed inside that. Everything is inside there is destroyed. All the files are all destroyed. If they don't keep file separately on a remote area, then that's it. All their storage, all their items inside there, all gone. They don't even have a record. But if you were to declare it to us, like I say, at least we at our end, we have their record. We know what's their stock level for that during that particular moment of time. All right, moment in time. Okay, I hope that answers your question. Let's move on. Okay, all right. So no more question. Now it's 2:55. Okay, good timing. So thank you, everybody. I'm gonna take a half an hour rest. We'll come back at 3:30 for our final episode of this July CPD training. I will see you again at 3:30 sharp. All right. So take care. Have your. Sorry, I'm 1 minute late. Okay. Just to recap, just now someone texted me. Thank you so much for that particular person who texted me. Thank you so much for highlighting. I forgot to mention one thing about the declaration. That is the minimum qualification for declaration is 500,000. Stock worth 500,000 and above. Okay, so in order for your client to enjoy the declaration policies, they must have stock level of 500,000 and above. And also remember at the beginning of the session, I shared with you my experience where I give 25% discount. That discount is no longer allowed. I was sharing just my experience 20 years ago. 20 years ago, it was allowed. I think around 10 years ago, it was stopped. It was not allowed anymore. So basically, it's no longer allowed to have a discount of 25%, but they have to pay upfront full amount. Okay. However, it's still benefit to them because they can still enjoy a refund if your stock level is lesser than what is being declared. All right. So that's the point. So thank you. You know who you are. I'm not. Thank you for highlighting to me because I forgot to mention the qualification. Okay, now for the last topic of today and the last topic of July, my CPD training for July is gonna be on SME Plus. Okay, so basically, Smart SME Plus is a very interesting policy, and so without wasting any more time, we'll just deep dive into it. And as usual, I'm gonna close my camera so that there's no line interruption, and I'll just concentrate on my slide. Please tell me if you can see my slide.
Yes.
All right, thank you so much, Fatah, as usual. Okay, so basically today we're gonna for the last topic for today, we're gonna talk about Smart SME Plus Group Medical Policy. Okay, so basically why is it that this is important? Okay, uh, a few a few times when I travel around the country by travel around the country giving my talk, a lot of agents ask me, "Hey Peter Tai, what is so special about Generali? What makes you all different from the other insurer?" So okay, basically, I have that idea in mind, so I'm going to share with you one very interesting slide so that everybody can understand how we generally are better or different from other people. Okay, so basically, okay, so I need to share with everybody this. There are 1.2 million SMEs in Malaysia, 1.2, of which 900,000 are micro enterprises. Micro enterprises meaning what? Meaning you have a turnover of below 300,000 or staff 5 people, employee, including the owner. All right. So basically in Malaysia, as you can see, there are a lot of SME. Okay. So basically, this policy is to cater for this group of people. All right. Okay. So basically, the reason why we come up with this interesting group medical policy is because to cater for this group of people. Okay. Now I come back to my statement just now. When we do a quick comparison among the top 10 insurance company in Malaysia, okay, in Malaysia, these are the top 10 insurance company. Okay, number 1 to number 10, we are at number 3. So you can see every insurance company, they have their own strength and weaknesses. And for the top 10 companies, the the only company that has a big substantial size in health is us, generally, at 13%. Okay, the rest are all quite small. Okay, the rest are all below 10%. Okay, so from here, a snapshot of this, you can understand how an insurance company works. Because insurance company is just like any other business, we have to diversify our source of income. Okay, we cannot concentrate on only one class. Okay, if you are over dependent on one class, then you know chances are you may face some difficulties should that class suffer a certain thing. Okay, for example, as you can see, out of this top 10, there are 3 companies that has around 70% or above on motor. Okay, so these are not profitable businesses. Motor is never profitable. Okay, and then of course you look at the other classes. A lot of the other insurance company, they are not doing very well on the um, miscellaneous, because miscellaneous classes or the other classes normally is hovering around 20%. Okay, but there's one particular company that's doing 71%. Okay, you can see, or there's another company that's doing 42%. So basically, these are also all quite volatile businesses. The one that is year in year out that has been steadily giving the insurance company profit is the fire class. Okay, fire class. Now you look at the fire class, the orange color. Okay, you can see generally is quite good. Okay, we are at 23%, but you can see Lompec at 42%. So Lompec, generally, why they are doing so well in fire is because they have a public bank to support. Okay, public bank, as you know, the moment you take loan from public bank, all the property are supposed to be insured with Lompec. So therefore, they have this advantage, and they are doing 42%. That's why they command a lot of profit from the market every year. Okay, so that's why Longpack is such a profitable company, right? At 42%. So from here you can see how the top 10 insurance company work. And if I were to answer you, what is our strength and what are the things that make us different from the market, is because first thing first, our portfolio are very balanced. We have 45 motor, 55 non-motor. Out of the 55 non-motor, 23 is fire, 13 is medical, and 18 is uh, 16 is the others miscellaneous. Okay, so basically our portfolio are quite balanced. So this is a very good a balanced insurance company. As you can see, it's quite balanced, right? Motor we have to do is because motor, as you know, in the whole of Malaysia, motor take up almost 50% of the GWP. The gross written premium almost 50%. I think 48% are comprised of motor insurance. So if you don't do motor insurance, then it's gonna be tough for us. Okay. So basically we have 45% motor, 23% fire, 13% health, and also 18% others. That's why our health, we are number one. We are the biggest in health, right? So the reason being because of our brand name and also our tradition. We have been known to be a very good health provider throughout history and throughout the world. Okay? The world knows us as a very good health insurance provider. All right? So basically that is our strength. And today I'm going to share with you one of the policy that give us such a big share of medical insurance. Okay? And this is it, this policy. This policy, Smart SME Plus, is specially designed to administer employee benefit plans for 10 to 150 employees of a company. Okay, it's either class, so long as you are class 1 to class 3 occupation, you have 100, you have 10, minimum 10 or maximum 150, you can enjoy this policy. All right, so basically what I'm trying to say is that you can go into any of those shop lot, any of those factory, you can safely sell them this policy, because most of them are within 10 to 50. A lot of them are 10. A lot of them are within that 50 people range. Okay, so you have a big market to sell this. And also remember that the the market of today is that when a person goes for interview, they will definitely ask for their benefit. And if the company does not provide PA or medical, chances are they will lose out. So because of that, they need to attract talent, attract people to join their company. Therefore, they have to give group PA and also smart SME plus medical card policy. All right. So basically, these are the reason why we are growing so well, because we are capturing the big chunk of the market, and everybody wants our policy because our policy is one of the most comprehensive and also is one of the most reasonably priced. Okay, so therefore that makes us differentiate us from the market. Okay, that's why, as you can see just now, the data shows we have the biggest number. Okay, so basically, you don't forget our size is quite big. We are doing 2 over billion. That 13% of 2 over billion is a lot of money, a lot of GWP on there. Okay, so that is the reason. Now, for this particular policy, we have 6 attractive plans. Okay, we have overall limit annum ranging from 12,000 to 100,000. Okay, the option to choose the most suitable coverage for the employee, and can extend to who? Can extend to their family also, so that the employee they can buy, they can get involve their family member if they want to. Okay, so that means this is quite a comprehensive policy. Why do we do that? Is because as you know, when the employee, their main concern is their family member. So if their family member are insured, so at least they give them peace of mind. When they have peace of mind, they can concentrate on working, do their work better. All right. Okay. Also, we extend to cover second surgery opinion. This is something very new, because normally second surgical opinion is not insurable, but we cover. Right. Emergency sickness treatment, we extend this. And emergency medical evacuation and funeral expenses. Wow, all these are extension that we allow under this policy, which normally the group medical policy do not cover. Yes, they do not cover. Okay, but we cover under this policy. We cover. That's why I said if you have this policy, it's very easy for you to go and knock on the doors of all the factory, of all the shop lot. You can easily sell this policy. All right. Okay. On top of that, we have this optional rider, which is called the clinical benefit. Clinical benefit means we provide both general practitioner and specialist care at outpatient level, meaning you don't even need to be admitted for you to enjoy this policy. All right, so you can opt for this clinical benefit coverage. Okay, employee can access to panel general practitioner or specialist on cashless basis. Wow, this is also very good because, like I say, having a medical card is like having a credit card, but going to the hospital. But credit card, you have to pay back. Medical card, you don't have to pay back. Okay, insurance company will pay for it. Okay, which is a convenient way of seeking medical treatment. Coupled with the hospitalization plan, your employee can enjoy a comprehensive medical coverage. Meaning, if you have this optional rider, your medical needs of your staff can be taken care of already. So you don't have to worry about anything about it. Okay, so that's what it means. Okay, let's go into more details. These are some of the features, okay, that is attractive. That is, number one, cashless access for medical treatment option. An option for your employee to receive easy and quick access to treatment with our medical card when they need it. Okay, that means all they will be given medical card, very convenient, easily accessible to all our panel hospital. Okay. No room and board co-payment penalty. This is also very good because a lot of times, a lot of insurance company, if you the moment you need to upgrade or to when there's no room, no bed available, you have to use a bigger bed, a bigger room, then there will be penalty. But for us, no, we don't. Your employee is not subject to co-payment penalty on hospital bill if she or she chooses higher room and board. Okay, so that's the beauty of it. And outpatient benefit covers the expenses of treatment of our panel general practitioner clinic and our outpatient specialist clinic. Okay, so we have all these clinics available, GP and also specialists. You can just visit them. Okay, it's on outpatient basis, meaning you don't need to be admitted. All right. So this is how the policy looks like. Okay, protect your employees and their families. Okay. So basically, group medical plan SME is an easy to sell package specially designed to administer to employee at benefit for small and medium sized industry. Remember just now the first slide I show you, there are 1.2 million SME out there. 1.2 million. You do 1%, you got 1,002. 1% is like 12,000 already. So it's good enough for you. Just go down there and do it. Okay. So long as they are under class 3. Below class 3, okay, that provide comprehensive medical coverage for employee and their family member according to their healthcare needs. All right. So basically, what are the highlight is 24 hours toll-free admission assistance, flexibility for everything for cashless or reimbursement. You can choose whether you want to buy cash, do it on a cashless or reimbursement. Of course, if it's reimbursement, the policy will be cheaper. Okay. Then, of course, you got plan designed for medical coverage option for outpatient. If you have outpatient, of course, it's more expensive. Without outpatient, it's cheaper. All right. So, convenient usage of medical card, cashless admission with more than 100 panel hospital in Malaysia. Okay. We have high coverage age, renewable up to 70 years old. Okay. So, that means all the staff that you have, they can work up to 70, we'll cover for you, for them. All right. Child cover from 15 days up to 24 years old. Okay. And unmarried. So long as they are within 24 years old, not married, staying with you, okay, it's covered. All right, we can extend to cover that. Important information before purchasing any medical product, you should ensure the following. What are the features of product proposed? Does the product best suit needs of your company? Is the premium affordable? Okay, these are all the information that you need to know, you need to explain to your customer. A lot of the time, the customer would have a location of premium to be paid for insurance for their staff benefit under the staff benefit category. Okay, they will put aside some money for them to buy GPA or group hospital surgical for their staff. Normally it's like that. So And some company that last time, based on my experience, was that they will cover for their staff, but they have a monthly contribution deduction from the staff, which the staff happily do, because you know why? Or else if the staff were to buy individual policy outside there, it's going to be very expensive. And the buys the when the staff participate in their group, so it's cheaper. So what the HR will do is either the HR put up a fund, maybe subsidize 50%, and then the balance 50% they will deduct monthly salary from their from the employee. Some of them are doing that, okay, but most of them, they do not do that at all. They just put it aside as part of their employee benefit, employees benefit category under their under their employment benefit, okay, for the staff. Okay, so always remember that. Now, hospitals, as Smart Energy Plus provides 6 attractive plans, as I mentioned, ranging from 12,000 to 100,000. Okay, that means you can customize. Your customer can customize. Normally, what I noticed was that they always buy a higher plan for the top management. Top management, they have a higher plan, and then the middle management will be the middle plan, and then all the other staff will be under the lower plan. Okay, so basically it's like a pyramid hierarchy. Okay, the top few will have the highest plan, then the second layer will be medium size, intermediary size, and the third one, the lower rank, which the bulk of the people are, these are the one they will purchase the basic cover for them. Okay, so that's how most SME treat their staff. Okay, so in other words, this also is an encouragement for their staff to be upgraded, to be promoted, to join the higher rank, so that they can enjoy a better insurance benefit. Okay, so it's like a motivation for the staff to work harder and to become a senior member of the company management. Okay, so it's a good thing. I remember just now I mentioned about optional rider. This is clinical benefit that is optional. You can take or you don't want to take, also okay. It's not compulsory and it is allowed. Okay, we have this optional rider. But of course, any rider, the word rider means what? You have to add on. When you add on, of course, you have to pay more. So basically, a lot of the SME that we visited, they do not want to have the optional rider. Okay, they just want to have a basic. Okay, but if they want, we can extend to cover. All right. Normally, the optional rider, they are only given to their top management. That's what I know. The top management will have a higher limit, and also we have optional rider, whereas the lower limit, no. This is also, they said, to discourage their staff from just visiting the GP at any one time. They also want to discourage that. So for them not to have this, because if it's on reimbursement basis, chances are people will think twice before they go and visit any GP, right? But if it's got a card, it's like free visitation. Of course, everybody will just abuse it. Okay, so that's why on the lower ranking staff, normally it's not given this clinical clinical benefit, okay, for the lower ranking staff. Okay, so these are all the condition. Minimum age, okay, if is 18, meaning what if the employee is below 18? I'll tell the client, sorry, if your employee is below 18, actually you are in breach of our Workman Act, because people below 18 are considered minor, and minor are not supposed to work. So they can only employ people who are 18 and above. Okay, so basically that is the first reason why is entry age is 18. Okay, then of course maximum age is up to 65. You know why? Because most of the people will retire at the age of 60 anyway, right? But some company, they keep on giving extension to their staff because their staff is valuable to them. Okay, they give extension, but normally they extend also up to 65 only now. I've not yet heard of any company that extend more than that. Okay, but there are some company, very kind-hearted company, like generally they allow. I think I've seen one or two of my colleagues. They're already 70 years old. They're still being employed. So basically, generally, it's very kind and very generous. So yeah, but majority of the company, the SME company, those above 65 will be the maximum. Okay, then they can renew. Yes, of course they can renew up to 70. Okay, up to 70. So basically, if there is a child, how come there's a child there? Okay, the child is always the children of the employee. Okay, it can be the management staff, employee, management staff children, or the just the operator, the factory operator, or the the workers, their children. Okay, can 15 days up to 24 years. Okay, all right. So these are the benefit. Okay, six plan, the cheapest being 80 ringgit, the most expensive being 370. Okay, like I say, they can pick and choose plan 1, plan 2, plan 3, plan 4, plan 5, and 6. Normally, based on my experience, the senior management will have plan 1, the middle management will have plan 3 or plan 4, then the lower rank staff will have plan 5 or plan 6. Okay, normally these are the arrangement by most SME, giving this benefit to all their staff. Why are they doing that? Is because they want to encourage those who are in plan 5 or plan 6 to work harder so that they can be upgraded, to be promoted, to join plan 3 or plan 4. Likewise, for those who are plan 3 and plan 4, they show as a benefit for them to work hard and to be promoted so that they can join the plan 1 and plan 2. Okay, so basically these are the hierarchy. It's like a pyramid system, like I say. The top ranking, a few of them will enjoy the plan 1 and plan 2. Then the big bulk of them, mostly are the factory workers. They will be buying, purchasing. They will be allowed the plan 6. Okay. These are all the 23 coverage. Okay, so I'm not going to read one by one because this is quite standard compared to everywhere else. However, one extraordinary coverage is the emergency medical evacuation. We have this 10,000 across. So whether you're plan 1 or plan 6, you can still enjoy this. Then your what call it, your funeral expenses also is across the board, is 10,000 for every member, regardless of the plan they buy. Okay, of course, plan 1 you have an annual limit of 100,000, and plan 6 you have an annual limit of 12,000. All right, so a lot of time, a lot of people were to tell me that 12,000 not enough. Okay, fine. If it's not enough, then buy plan 5, at least 20,000. Okay, so basically plan 5 for the workers, maybe plan 3 for the managers, and plan 1 for the director or the executive team. Okay, the senior management team. All right, so basically that's the gist of all the coverage there. Then this is the premium table. Okay, premium table. We cover employee only, employee plus spouse, employee plus children, and employee plus family. People ask me, why are we differentiate between employee and spouse, employee and children? Why are we doing that? Okay, the reason being like this: certain spouse, they have their own office or they work in a separate company. So for that particular spouse, their company cover them only and not cover their children. So basically, if that is the situation, then you should buy the employee and children. You understand what I mean? Because your spouse, let's say let's say for example, I'll just give an example. Mr. Lim has a wife, Mrs. Lim. So Mr. Lim and Mrs. Lim, they have two kids. Okay, they have two kids, all below 24 years old. So Mr. Lim policy cover only Mr. Lim. So Mrs. Lim, let's say Mrs. Lim work for your customer, and your customer can just say, okay, Mrs. Lim, you can buy for you yourself plus your children, the two children under them. So that's why under this category. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. Yeah. So basically, that's the one differentiate. Then how about employee and spouse, meaning those without children, like my case. Okay, I got a spouse and I got no kid, so mine is under employee and spouse. Very simple, straightforward. How about employee and family? Okay, employee family means the spouse plus the children. Immediate, meaning it has to be downward, meaning father, mother, children. Let's say the worker, the staff is the father or the staff is the mother, then the children. Okay, so that is what it means. All right. And how about grandfather, grandmother? No, it's not. Grandfather is one layer up. No. Okay, it's always father, mother, and children only. All right. For this, if you were to buy the plan 1 for the employee and family, meaning if you were to buy this for your executive, for your directors and all that, the senior management, it's only 7,100. So it's very, very affordable. Okay. So that's what I mean. So you can have plan 1 for your, let's say you have a 10 member of your employee under this category. buy for their staff and family. So it's only 7,001 times 10. That's all. Very simple, very straightforward. Okay, likewise, so on and so forth for the rest of the plan. If it's employee only for plan 6, you can look at the premium is 335 ringgit per year. So cheap. 1 month is only around less than 30 ringgit, 20 plus ringgit. So is this the cheapest plan in the market? Huh? Okay, of course, this is all on cashless. If your customer were to opt for reimbursement, then of course you enjoy cheaper premium. All right. Reimbursement meaning you claim first, you pay first, then you reimburse later. All right, instead of cashless. So that's the only difference. Okay. Everything else, the coverage is the same. All the benefits are the same, except that you have to pay first and claim back later only. So because of that, there's a discount on the premium. All right. So as you can see across the board, everything else is cheaper. Everything is cheaper compared to the cashless format. Okay. So that's the premium table. Let's move on. All right. So for optional, okay, remember just now I say you can do for the optional, the clinical benefit. If you were to go for the clinical benefit, these are the one that these are the premium that you have to pay per person. It's only 675 ringgit. Okay, so that means you can have plan 1 or plan 2, plan 3. It doesn't matter. You just add 675. You can have this special optional rider. Like I say, based on our experience, is that optional rider clinical benefit normally are given to the senior management. The senior management will enjoy this. Okay, not so for the clerical or the factory staff. Okay, because like I say, they worry the staff abuse this benefit. Okay, so based on my experience again, this is good for those who are in the senior position or management position. Okay, so you can add this 675 ringgit to the plan that they are buying. Then that's it. You are covered, both clinical and also inpatient. All right. So basically, what are class 1, class 2, and class 3? Class 1 is the preferred, of course, professional, person engaged in executive, administrative, clerical, work solely in office, similar, non-hazardous. That is the best. And this is the one that we want to target. Okay. The number 2 is the person engaged in skilled or semi-skilled work and not exposed to hazardous condition. Okay. Number 3 is the person engaged in occupation requiring manual labor involving the use of tools and light machinery, but not particularly hazardous. Okay, meaning all the factory workers. Yes. So these are the class 3. All right. So class 1, class 2, class 3. These are the one that we can insure. Are there any differences in the premium? You can look here. There is none. See? So they are paying based on the plan and not the occupation class. Okay. All right. Decline. Okay. These are all the decline. We do not insure them. Uh, these are known to be hazardous and dangerous. Okay. And the risk is very high. So I'm not gonna read. You can read yourself. It's all there. Okay. All right. So basically, whatever exempted or we exclude, I believe these people will find it difficult to get insurance elsewhere as well, because not many insurance company out there are willing to accept them. Okay, all this. Okay, all this in this listing. All right. So what are the exclusion? Okay, like any other policy, there are a lot of exclusion. Okay, so like I say, this is a standard exclusion. Most insurance company are applying the same. Okay, so don't worry about all this wording, all these things. Actually, you can get all these things from our website. Okay, you just go under the Smart SME Plus. You click on it under the business category. You click on it. You can have all these things there. Okay. And also, if you want to have a copy of this presentation slide later, you can download it from your. It will be uploaded into the Omni system, and you can have access to it. All right. So you can always look at it later. Or you can read one by one. But most of the exclusion are standard across Malaysia. If it is excluded here, that means it's excluded elsewhere in other insurance company. Okay. So basically, the exclusion are all standard all over Malaysia. All right. Okay, again, exclusion, continue. Okay. Under the optional rider, also we have exclusion. These are the exclusion that is down there. Okay, again, there's a lot of condition down there. You have to read. You can read. You can print. You can either download it from our website, or you can just take a photo later, or you can just later after this training, you can look at it again because it's all recorded, and it also is in the this presentation slide is in your Omni, so you can always have a copy later. Okay, continue with the rider, outpatient. Okay, so these are the frequently asked questions. Okay, I'm going to go through so that people we all can understand. So all full-time and actively work employee with maximum entry, who is eligible? Okay, all these people, so long as they are working, maximum entry age 65, and are for renewable up to 70. All right. So long as they are working full time, they have a salary to show, they have a SOXO to show. Okay, this is considered good. Okay, EPF to show this. Okay, for the employee legally married spouse, the eligible entry age is up to 65. The meaning if your staff you want to extend to the spouse must be also 65. Okay, maximum. Okay, coverage is extended to unmarried children. Okay, there's a 14 days exclusion. On the 15th day only can join in. Okay, meaning you have to announce to us that you got a baby after the 15 days only is covered, up to 24 years. Okay, 24 years. So long as they are staying with you, they are not married, then it can be insured together under the family. Okay. How to enroll SME Plus and what are the document requests? Very simple. You just need to complete the form. Okay, you can download this form from our website. Okay, then there's this enrollment form. Okay, enrollment form meaning you have to put in the names, all the stuff down there. Okay, then you have to then there's a supplement agreement for cashless facility. You have to sign that one. Okay, if you opt for the reimbursement, then you don't need this. Okay, but if you go on cashless, then you need. Okay, it's all this you can get from the website. You can just download it. Okay, is medical as mentioned? No, medical as mentioned is not required. Okay, this is the best part. That's why a lot of staff love to buy this policy, because we don't ask for individual medical status. Okay, so this is a good policy for you to sell. Okay, because we don't need medical examination. Can I change my employee benefit? Yes, any changes in the benefit allowed upon policy anniversary. Okay, meaning let's say this year you already signed up plan 3. Can you move to plan 4? Can, upon the anniversary, meaning at the end of the year, right? So basically, yeah, same. Okay, but you want to change anything, you have to write to us, notify us, at least give us 30 days on notification period. Okay, are the premium guaranteed? Period are never guaranteed. Okay, it is not guaranteed. So what you see today, what I'm presenting today, this is correct as at today. But let's say 2 months later you want to buy, maybe the rate already changed. So there is no guaranteed in the premium table. Okay, it's subject to overall experience of underwriting. As you are aware, we are doing this for profit. So if we find this policy not profitable, we'll increase the premium or we'll decrease the coverage. Either way only. Increase the premium or lower the coverage. Okay, there's nothing in between. If the policy is not profitable, so far it's profitable, so we'll continue. All right. What is the procedure to declare new inclusion of this employee? Okay, very simple. When you sign up, there's an enrollment form. So in the enrollment form, you have to update, you have to include, delete for those who have left, or insert whoever is new. Okay, so always within 30 days, you have to tell us. Within that 1 month, you have to inform us anybody who has resigned, replaced by somebody, or just resign and no replacement. Okay, you have to inform us, or new staff totally. Okay, so you have to calculate inform us because we need to calculate the premium. Okay, we need to calculate either to refund the premium or to charge new premium. Okay, so that's why you need to declare to us on a monthly basis if can. If the full year there's no changes to your staff movement, your staff very loyal, nobody resigned, no new staff coming in, then it's okay. You just maintain the policy at the end of the year. Does Smart SME Plus provide overseas coverage? Yes, we do. We provide worldwide some, okay, for 20 hours a day. But if the insured person elect to be to refer to be treated outside Malaysia by attending physician benefit, payable shall be limited to reasonable and customary medical necessary charge. Okay. So my advice to this is to you all is this: if your customer die wants to go overseas to for surgery, propose to them the international exclusive. Yes, that one is a better policy because that one they do not follow the MMA guideline. Okay, because overseas, overseas, they are not restricted to Malaysian Medical Association guideline. Okay, so basically, if they die want to go overseas for surgery, advise them to buy the international executive. All right. No benefits shall be payable for any medical treatment received by insurers result of travel outside Malaysia for more than 90 consecutive days. Meaning what? Meaning there is a maximum 90 days you can travel abroad. Anything above 90 days, sorry, is no longer covered. Okay, meaning it's only for short trip abroad only is covered. Okay. Does takeover of period policy apply for SMA Plus? Yes, you can take over. Okay. You can take over. You can take over existing. But in my opinion, the if your claim experience for the past 2 years is not good, please continue with that company because you know why? Because whenever you come to a new company, they will check, they will get the past 2 years claim experience. And normally, if the claim experience is no good, it's not so good, what they will do is you'll put a very high loading onto your premium. Okay, the underwriter reserve the right to decline or to take in over obligation or to impose loading or the additional premium. They have the right, they have the right to do that. So basically, like I say, if there's a takeover, let's say, for example, you got a new business and you realize that they have an existing policy with another company, you want to propose them to come over here, you can do that. The underwriter will have to look at their past experience, okay, at least past 2 years experience, okay, to see whether is profitable enough for us to take over. How do I make medical claim under this policy? Okay, it's a cashless facility, so you don't have to worry. You just go into the hospital. We arrange for you through the third party administrator. Okay, so you just contact them and then you just let them know you want to have a surgery, and they will arrange for you. All right. So basically, you can refer to our panel hospital in our website. Okay, so it's all there. So you can just go to any one of them and just, like I say, you have to inform the third-party administrator saying that you want to be admitted for certain surgery. All right. Should the insured person wish to seek medical advice admission from a hospital that does not fall in generally panel, can, but you have to pay and file. If you do not go into our panel hospital, then you have to pay and file first. Meaning it has to be on reimbursement basis. All right. Reason being because those not in our panel are not our preferred. So when it's not our preferred, normally means they fail our audit. We have a very stringent auditing team to audit all the hospital. So those who are in our panel means they are good. Okay, they are good. So please go to our panel. They are certified. Okay. So basically, I come to the end of my presentation. We have around 15 minutes, no, 20 minutes left. Okay, so I'm going to open to question, and if there is any, I'm going to look at the chat box to see any of the chat. Okay, you hang on. Good afternoon. Okay, good afternoon. Can I have, what is this? Can I have the last slide? Okay, I mentioned it. Can I have the attendance form? Okay. For those of you who just joined, good afternoon. Okay, this the what do you call it, the attendance list. The attendance list pula. The attendance QR code. Please scan to get your CPD hours. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Okay, joining. Okay, yes, 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 yes. Good. So employee and family plan means coverage are the same. Oh yes, of course. If you were to extend to your family means, let's say if you buy plan one for your family, that means all your family will enjoy plan one. All right. In Omni Portal can do quotation. In Omni Portal can do quotation for the SME plus. Can, right? Can. Can. But you have to ask your MO to teach you because I honestly don't know how to do it. I only know how to, I know how to interpret the policy, but I do not know how to go to the system to do the calculation. Normally, client, what is the waiting period for medical policy if fully covered on most sickness takeover cases? That what is the waiting period? Take over most sickness, take over case. What is the waiting period? I think the standard waiting period applies 120 days of all existing illnesses is the same. Smart optimal healthcare. Is family plan the annual limit shared by the family? Indo Samala is the family plan the annual limit shared by family? Yes. No. Family plan, if it is individual, you buy the spouse, as you can see the plan. Okay, so because they pay the premium is based on that limit. So let's say you got 4%, that means you individually got all that limit being used for you individually. All right. Fine. Cow posing. How are you, Mr. Cow? Welcome. Posing cow. Cow posing. Okay. Any more question? Medical checkup required. Okay. For this particular policy, no. There's no medical requirement. Anybody inside your organization can join in. But it is good that if you declare, let's say if you have a staff that has a diabetic, you just tell us that that particular staff got diabetic. That's all. We don't need you to have a medical checkup per se. All right. So that's the beauty of this policy. But minimum you must have 10 people in the company. Yeah? So I was once asked, a person asked me, say, the company only has 7 people. Can they put in the mother and the father to be the staff so that they can make up 10 people? The answer is no. Cannot. You have to be staff. Staff means must have your payroll, you must have your registered staff, you must have your EPF, your income tax, your SOCSO. You must be a full-time staff. Unless that company willing to make the mother or the father a full-time staff. Then if not, then cannot. Okay, I hope that answer your question. All right, so now it's at 4:16. Everybody's very tired. Okay, everybody wants to go back early. I understand, to avoid the jam. Take over policy. What is the waiting period? How come alarm center can tell us 24 months waiting? 24 months? 24 months is 2 years late. Sure. I don't think so. It's 24 months waiting period. 24 months is 2 years. Cannot be waiting period for 2 years. See, when you have a takeover policy, it's always very difficult for the underwriter because, like I said, the underwriter will need to see the claims record, the past 2 years claims record. Okay, so that's a bit of a problem there, because normally very difficult for the customer to share the 2 years claims record. So definitely the customer are a bit difficult. So we also find it very difficult. So it's always very tricky. The best is buy a new policy. Buy a brand new policy, don't take over, then it's easier. Constable period 24. Constable, contestable period 24 months. Common Chong, contestable period 24 months apply. Oh, good question. I don't know how to answer this. I need to check it out. Common Chong, can you please notify your MO and your MO were to contact me and I'll check it out for you. contestable period, 24 months supply. I need to verify this question, this answer. All right. Sorry, Kamen Chong, I cannot give you immediate answer. Any more question? Any? Thank you, Kamen Chong. Any more question? If not, then I will end my presentation. This is the last of my presentation for this marathon, 16 hours. Thank you so much, everybody, for your participation. I'm so happy to have so many people attending, and I will see you again in August or in September. All right, folks, for the time being, thank you very much. Take care and happy learning. See you all, everybody. Fatah will flash out. Okay, good. Fatah can read my mind. She flashed out all the thing already. So please make sure you take your attendance, scan your attendance and get your CPD hours. Ciao, everybody. Take care.